My trip to Paris with a friend is stressful. I want to split up for good.
Yeah, break up the trip.
I'm sorry if this doesn't make sense. I've gotten off of my 12-hour shift at the hospital, LOL. Anyways, me and my friend, let's call her Bella. I've known Bella for a while. We've got close after I lost my son at 5 months.
Oh.
We planned a Paris trip, which I honestly thought was just like we should totally go here, then never do that, until the plane and hotel were purchased, which I paid her back for. By the way, this comes from user SadReaper23, and if you want to submit your own story, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit and submit it there. Anyways, time got closer to the trip, and we talked about taking our euros so we can have some cash on hand, and we both agreed to take some out. But the day of the trip, I tried to give her euros, which was the amount I didn't pay because I didn't have money at the time. I took out 3,000 euros because I wanted to shop, and shop I did not.
Ow.
Here's some context about myself. I grew up in horrible living situations, and now as a 19-year-old adult with an apartment and a fiance, I worry about money often. And I have an amazing memory and often worry about misunderstanding, so I take notes on everything, pretty much a summary of every conversation. It's okay? The day of the trip, Bella proceeds to try and gaslight me, telling me I was the only one who was going to take out money, and that's what we agreed on.
What?
There was no note of that conversation. She now owes me about $986.84. Yes, it's very specific. I keep all my receipts and made envelopes with how much money was in each envelope. Money was not the only issue. It was just the start of it. More context. I have never been on a plane or traveled out of the country. I've driven states away. Yes. Paying tolls and whatever. Planes? No. Also, as a child, I didn't really have a home. So I was very aware because I grew up in a substance-infested area. At the airport, I'm nervous. There's a pokey stabby in my checked bag, and it's a nice pokey stabby, and I was worried it would get taken. Bella gets mad at me for bringing a backpack instead of a small suitcase as a carry-on, while my purse is my personal bag. I apparently looked poor, but in reality, I didn't want to lug 2 rolly bags around and would rather carry a backpack. I wear steel-toed boots all the time. They make me about 5'3" in height and protect my little toes. I knew to take my shoes off during the metal detector, and Bella points out my socks aren't matching, and I don't need to take off my shoes. It's embarrassing, apparently. Well, joke's on you. I'm colorblind, and I can't tell that the gray isn't the same as that gray.
I'm also not colorblind, and I mismatch socks all the time. Who cares?
I'm pretty small. I'm 5 foot and about 115 pounds, but I'm also claustrophobic. Bella is about 5'2" and is a bit bigger and wider than me. I was put into the middle of the seats, which I am claustrophobic, and kept passing out from hyperventilating, which she told me to stop. It's so embarrassing. I was in the middle of every plane ride, and the same thing happened repeatedly, and I was told the same thing every time, too. Where are the flight attendants? Where's anyone offering to help you here? What, are you on a flight full of just robot monsters? Anyways, each airport encounter was the same, except the last one, which was finally the plane to take us home. I was in the middle again, but with my awareness brain type of response, I read every sign. And when Bella would wander off, I would mention reading the signs. She got mad and yelled at me to read the signs. And I made her cry by telling her in a stern voice, which, God, I wish I did earlier, not to make her cry, but just to make it stop, quote, I am reading the signs. That's how I know where I'm going. It would be helpful if we both read the signs in bold writing. And proceeded to point at the signs that said our plane number thingy. Enough about the airport. It's time for Paris. I won't lie. I didn't hate the trip, but I didn't enjoy myself much. We get to the hotel, she checks us in, we get into the room, and she yells at me because she's hungry, and then falls asleep. Sounds great.
I'm hungry!
I'm very independent and can read French. Just not speak it or understand it when spoken to me. I went out to get pizza, and the only time I enjoyed walking was when I was alone. Anyways, the next day we went to a market, and everything was closed. So we went back. She got mad, and I mentioned a museum. That's all I wanted to do, and it's all I wanted to do while there, even just for an hour. Bella says, that's stupid. We're there to shop. That's why we came here, idiot. In my head, I'm like, shoot, 3,000 euros isn't enough. I wanted to go crazy and bring stuff to my friends at home, but I have to split it. I will withhold unless I really want something. That way everyone will be happy. Bella would be.
Stupid.
So, When we did shop, I shopped for my friends, coworkers, fiance, and my foster mom. The most I got for myself was a sweater and a necklace. I spent literally 32 euros on myself. This whole time there, Bella wanted to be right, and that just wasn't happening. I have training in the army. I know how to fight and track. I never get lost, and never did, and she kept trying to make us go in the wrong direction, then got mad and yelled at me when I was right or tried to correct her. I'm very passive, but I'm also assertive and aggressive when I need to be. I would sit in the bathroom and cry because I felt so I don't know. I was also the designated bag holder because I'm stronger.
She made
or
you
whatever.
hold all her bags?
This person sucks, dude.
You're not her
Cut her
freaking
off.
servant.
Cut her off. Abandon her in Paris.
Yeah.
I was the designated bag holder because I'm freaking yoked, dude.
So strong.
I felt like this trip was for her, and I was just her bodyguard, money bag holder, direction giver. She was never this way with me before. I lost all excitement for the trip and just wanted to go home to my cats and my fiance. I had to smile and pretend I was so happy. If I let it show that I was tired, sad, annoyed, or anything, she would start to cry and get mad, and I'd be the problem. See, that's where you're wrong, though, girl, because you could have just been however you felt, and then her going,
you go,
that's
you know
her
what,
problem.
I'm gonna head out and do something else today.
You go, I'm actually going to hang out by myself because I don't usually hang out with little babies.
Little cry babies.
Sorry. By the way, I'm going to dunk you in the river if you don't listen to full episodes with stories like this. All you can do is go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, wherever you listen to podcasts, and search OK Storytime. And then you have the whole archive at your fingertips. She hasn't apologized yet, and I don't think she will because I don't have the heart to tell her how I felt. Well, maybe deep down, I feel like I owe her. She helped me get through my miscarriage. She was in the room when I had the procedure, when I held him for the first and last time. Anyway, I probably won't go on a trip with her again. But is it worth throwing the whole friendship away? Yes.
Yeah.
I'm not good with decisions. I'm commonly, if you are bad, you're gone from my life, but it's usually the newer people that I meet. Ugh, sorry for the long post. We have some comments. Comment 1, it is absolutely worth the loss. Trust me. Someone who doesn't respect your boundaries, appreciates your strengths, or even pays back the big amount of money they owe you is not a friend. She definitely has some very clear main character syndrome, and the moment something doesn't fit her idea of picture perfect is blamed on someone else. This goes far beyond just having an off day. The fact that she can't even offer support in your time of need or accept your own choices in life are huge red flags alone. OP replied, yeah, it was kind of disheartening when I was called embarrassing for things I can't necessarily control, like color blindness or claustrophobia, which she knew about beforehand. I wonder why she switched up. What was the switch up? What was the switch up moment?
Because she wants to be a bully and she doesn't need a reason.
They allowed people with claustrophobia to enlist. That's usually a disorder that disqualifies you from serving in any branch. At least it was when I joined the military. OP replied, I didn't enlist as a child. I joined programs and got help from my siblings. And yes, I know, hence why I am not in the Army and decided to go into the medical field. I'm allowed to go to some bases just to watch and learn. I just can't do the full extended things they do. But fight, yes. Tracking, I can do, just not 100%. I've never traveled before, but based on this, I'll probably be doing it alone from now on. And that is the end of our story.